As we head towards the festive season, South Africa is starting to see a spike of cash-in-transit heists that end fatally for both the police and perpetrators. Police Minister Bheki Cele in recent times has announced initiatives to curb these crimes through intelligence interventions. For more on this, we now look at whether these initiatives have been effective or not. And we now are joined by security consultant Azaniah Mnisi, and he joins us via our video link. Azaniah, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. One would ask that over the past couple of weeks and a few months, we've seen, reports of cash in transit heists. So when you look at your own research, what does your research tell you? Have we seen a number of these being reported over the past couple of months? And can you see an increase to that nature?
Good evening, Bali, and to the viewers at home. And thank you very much for this opportunity. What we are observing at this point in time is exactly what is happening every year towards the festive season. We see a spike in this cash in transit robberies. And obviously, in the main, they are not friendly games. Lives are lost, and quite substantial amount of money is being lost in the process.
And what would you say are the contributing factors, especially towards the festive season? Why do we suddenly see an increase in these crimes?
It takes back to our social inequality in the country. You'll know that the issues that we are facing is poverty, unemployment, and inequality. Now, we are having lots of people who are not working, within which some of them, they think and they've already declared that they are dead, even though they are still alive. So they are ready, people are ready to do anything as long as it's going to give them some kind of money, and as long as they've got some little thinking in their heads that whatever initiative, however deadly it is, if they can involve themselves in, if they cannot be arrested, then they'll be able to gain something in the process. So I think the challenge here is also on the companies that are handling the cash. It appears that they are not learning every now and then because they've already put in measures to deter these wannabe robbers at some stage by ensuring that there are vehicles. Yes, I know it's expensive to have vehicles escorting and so on, but that can also help. I know for a fact that these robbers, they are fully armed to the teeth, and also there have been instances wherein the escorters were the first ones to be attacked and so on. But more often than not, you find that these robberies, when they happen, there are no escorts at some stage, and that puts the lives of the guards who are transporting the money at risk. And I think the main issue should be that these security guards should be protected at all times by ensuring that measures are put in place. I know it's expensive, but at the same time, it's equally expensive to lose a life because of these robberies.
And how would you say, when it comes to the coordination of these cash in transit heists, so one would say when you are describing it for us, it seems as if it's quite carefully coordinated in terms of how they pull off these cash in transit heists?
These robberies, they mean business. We will have seen the reports of what happened in Limpopo not so long ago. So this is carefully coordinated, which is even executed in clear military precisions that are available in the process. So you will have seen that most of these guys, they are well trained. They know how to use those high caliber weapons. They know how to use the explosions to to be able to blow out those vehicles which are carrying the cash. So these are people who are well trained and with clear intent of wanting to get the money by all means necessary.
And the famous question we always ask as journalists is, where's the intelligence of this country if we continue to see a trend, especially when we head towards the festive season? The intelligence should be aware of this sort of crime, heading towards the festive season.
I think the intelligence can only do so much in order to curb this kind of crimes. The other issue that is very critical is these guys, the companies themselves that are handling the cash, as to say, are they having right measures within themselves to be able to manage the information? The information does not leak, the cash planning, the deliveries and all those kind of stuff. So we can see in other incidences wherein these guys are robbed while they don't have the cash in those bakkies or in those trucks. So it shows that information sometimes is being managed well, and that's why you have these incidences wherein people will just attack trucks which are not having the money. So the intelligence service can only do so much, but what is needed and what should be expected is that these companies that are handling the cash should be able to manage this thing in a more secured and security measure that will ensure that people are safe. The very same, that information sometimes is taken out by the people who are working there. So the way they were planning it in the past, they should continue to plan it, and people should not know where are they going tomorrow, the very same workers, because sometimes the information comes out from them.
Yeah, and Mr. Mnisi, let's move on to other crimes in this country that we continue to see an increase in, and one is quite alarmed when it comes to just a story we ran before this interview. We've seen more councillors being killed in KwaZulu-Natal, and we always see the Minister of Police announcing some sort of the interventions being made when it comes to dealing with these crimes. And we even heard there and speaking about the hitmen who attack some of these councillors in KwaZulu-Natal. Surely something needs to be done here, and where we announce some sort of these interventions, but clearly it seems as if we are losing the battle here when it comes to such crimes where councillors are being killed.
The war has been declared against councillors, especially in the KZN province. Mercilessly, councillors are being killed, and all we see is that we're going to hear about the unfortunate event like what we are witnessing at this point in time. It should not be left in the hands of the councillor to determine whether they want protection or not. Once it's determined that there is a risk in the life of a particular councillor, protection should be provided by SAPS. So the list goes on people who have been killed, high-profile people, and some people who were just entering politics and so on. So it is very clear that we lack coordination. We are lacking that control over that kind of a situation. For the ANC to come out and say the councillor never said that it does not want protection, it did much to be desired. And when you listen to the family said they knew all along that there was a threat in the life of the councillor. So something has to be done. I think ANC has been working on that, but it's out of their control to be able to protect their councillors in KZN specifically.
And from your observations, these the operations we see from the police, would you say that these measures seem to be working for us as a country?
No, they are not. They're not working. As long as we can always be reporting about these heinous crimes from time to time, it is very clear that we have lost the battle, or we're losing the battle against the criminals. They are currently having an upper hand in terms of the control of crime in the country. So it is very much important. The call has been made very long time ago, and it is very clear that there is no willingness from the president to ensure that the head of Bheki Cele, the Minister of Police, roles, and then we have a new motivated and direction-led kind of a person who can occupy that office of the Ministry of Police and give new direction to that office. But at this point in time, we are just going to forever hear and report and lament about the upper hand that criminals and crime have in our country.
All right, Mr. Mnisi, thank you so much for your contributions and your time. That is Azaniah Mnisi. He is a security consultant.